Hello, today we're doing a TBR video. We're going to talk about what I plan to read and film in the month of June. The people who gave feedback of me doing this last month gave positive feedback, so I'm rolling with it. You can correct me if you want it to stop. Okay, so June TBR, I have 8 books and 1 novella that I'm looking forward to reading in the month of June. Here's the graphic for it. I realize one says fantasy and one says urban fantasy. It doesn't really matter to me that they're too similar of categories. I just wanted the graphic to be balanced and pretty. First book we're going to talk about is Goddess of the River. This follows a goddess of the river and her doomed mortal son. Our protagonist, Ganga, marries a king and becomes a queen, trying to regain her freedom, but she's forced to leave her son behind. And I believe there's a war between the son and his king, and the mother and son are reunited, possibly, maybe? Or at least their stories tangle together and it's very messy. I don't know. I'm really excited about it. It's probably, other than the Vandermeer books on my TBR, it's probably my most hyped book of the month. And other than Changes, but that's because y'all are hyping it so hard. I'm excited about everything I'm going to read this month. What Moves the Dead? This is a novella following a retired soldier who receives word that their childhood friend is dying. So after the soldier returns home, they find fungal growth, possessed wildlife, a pulsing lake. This all sounds like things that I should enjoy. I've been very hit or miss with T. Kingfisher, and it should be a hit. Everything about this should be a hit for me. Next up is The Imaginary Corpse, a dinosaur detective in the land of unwanted ideas. So Tipsy is a stuffed triceratops, and he is currently living in the land of unwanted ideas, where ideas go when they're no longer needed or wanted, and it's like a land of the forgotten, I think. Anyway, things are being murdered, and he's a detective, a stuffed animal Triceratops detective trying to solve the mystery. I'm pretty sure that's the plot line. I saw Becca in the Books talking about this in one of her vlogs, and she said that the atmosphere was really good in it, so it just sounds amazing. Or the world. She said the world was really good. I don't care. I'm gonna read it. So I have all 3 of the Ambergris books on my TBR this month. These are all Vandermeer books. This is a collection of stories, histories, and quote-unquote eyewitness reports that invoke a universe within a puzzle box where you can lose and find yourself again. So I don't know hardly anything about this. I know that it's written in a sort of mixed media formatting something, and I already bought all 3 books and I'm very excited to read them. I love Jeff Vandermeer books so much, so I just want to have this trilogy that I can just, for Area X, I just read all 3 of them back to back to back, and it was the best time of my life, and I would love that experience again from an author that is seasoned and trusted, but we're not talking about dead astronauts today. Service model. Humanity is a dying breed of utterly reliant on artificial labor and service. But there's a robot who discovers that he can run away, and it sounds like a sci-fi plotline that I have read many times, and I want to read it again, this time by an author who I have also recently discovered and love, and I'm trying to continue to read his books. So this time I get to read it on new release. Oh, I did that for House of Open Wounds as well. Well, I'm gonna read it. Next up is Bride. All I know about this is that it's vampire and werewolf romance, I'm pretty sure. Not my thing, but Amber, Elise, and I have a book club now where we read books that are outside of our comfort zone. Well, we have very opposite tastes, and so we take turns picking the book club book of the month. Last month it was A Court of Mist and Fury. She loved it. I did not. This month it's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Where is it? Where are you? I love it. I doubt she will. Last I checked with her, she was not having a good time. I'm really excited about it. I'm having a good time just hanging out with Amber. And then finally is Changes by Jim Butcher. This is the 12th Dresden Files book, and it's the one that's been hyped since I read book 1. So it better live up to it. So those are the books that I plan on reading in June. Now let's talk about my upload schedule. So last month I did the same thing where I talked to you about my upload schedule plans, and I followed it pretty closely, but there were some things that got moved around or just didn't happen. And that's life. So just go into this knowing the same thing. These are my plans, but things might move around. I might miss a video. life happens. However, these types of videos that June is packed with, the best, the worst, the quarterly check-ins, these kinds of quarterly or midway through the year or end of the year videos are all my favorite kinds of videos that I do all year long. So I expect to be diligent to do them all, but sometimes life happens. So today is the TBR video. We're doing it right now. That's not even June. June 3rd, the first video that we're doing in June, is the wrap up for May. I'm filming that right after I film this. Then it'll be time to do the best and worst books halfway through the year. I have it kind of early in June just because usually December I try to set aside most of the month, if not all the month, for rereads because I love rereads and it's just a good time to do it with me prepping all of the end of the year stuff. So June, early June, is halfway through the year for me. At least that makes sense in my brain. Then we have a vlog. This was supposed to be a death vlog because I'm reading a couple of books that involve death in them this month. What Moves the Dead and The Imaginary Corpse. I don't know if Goddess of the River is. For some reason I had it in my head that her son was dead and she was going into the spirit realm to get him back. But I just read the description and that's not what's happening in this book. So I don't know if that's gonna fit, but Bride is there too, and there's vampires, so that you're dead when you're a vampire. It'll still work. So this is gonna be a book themed around death. I mean a vlog themed around death. Then we're gonna read some 1-star reviews for my favorite books. Everybody's allowed an opinion, including ones where they hate my favorite books, and personally, I just really enjoy funny 1-star reviews, so we are going to enjoy seeing people's opinions that are different from mine. Then we have the quarterly video. This is where I talk about, what do I talk about in my quarterly videos? I do awards, books that I think really stood out in certain aspects, and I mix up what kind of awards I give each time, as well as my top 3 books of the quarter. We check in with my goals to see how I'm doing with my yearly goals. We're doing the bingo now, the r/fantasy bingo, so we'll check in on that, add more books to it. It's a nerd video. I like it a lot. Then we have a Dresden review. This is for the book Changes. This one may be bumped to Wednesday because I'm going to be traveling around that time, so I don't know how quickly I'm going to be able to get it out, but it's going to be right around this time frame. And then another vlog, I'm going through those 3 Vandermeer books, and I chronicled my reading of Area X when I read that, and it was my favorite video that I've made in a while, so I'm just gonna do it again with more Vandermeer. Then we have a wrap up and a TBR. So there you go. Those are my plans for what I plan to read and film all throughout the month of June. If you enjoy kind of knowing what to anticipate from me, if you follow me that closely, then there you go. It's there. And on Tuesday there will be a wrap up, so I'll see you on Tuesday. Let me know if any of these books I've mentioned you plan to read as well. You're gonna hang out with me and chat with me while I read them. We do have organized buddy reads happening on my Discord, on my Patreon, for every single book that I read. So if you want to do a more like as we're reading discussion, you can always check that out as well. Otherwise, you know, everything gets mentioned in a video. But please do chat with me more in the comments about books or videos that you're excited about or not excited about. I will see you again soon. Bye.